to my channel. You too can be great. Now, I know I've been gone for a good minute. It was my 30th birthday weekend. 30 looks good on me, child. Yes. I am officially the big 3-0. And so I wanted to enjoy myself. So I kind of just worked at what I was doing. Plus, my man had pissed me off early in the week. And no, I didn't feed his ass. I actually went downstairs, made my food, walked past him with some sausage, some eggs, some toast, my mimosa, let him smell it, get a whiff, and go to the kitchen and find nothing until he learned his lesson. He had some cup of noodles and some hot dogs. He was hot too. But we cool now. So now this is the the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 12 episode 21 review. Moving on or moving up or moving somewhere, moving in the wrong direction for every damn body, because it seems like every single relationship has something to talk about this season. And this is the precursor before the finale. And I'm going to talk about what happened. Now, I'm going to go all over the place because I don't have my notes, but I'm going to just recap what was important. So we know that for Cynthia and her sister, I don't remember her sister's name. It seems like she put her sister in charge of the wine cellar, Bailey wine cellar, and that maybe because her sister don't work or something, I don't know. Maybe her sister has something going on. But for me personally, I think it's a slippery slope, just like the Rashida and Kirk situation and their mama, to put somebody you're related to in charge of one of your businesses. Because I know in life, not only are there jealousy, not that I'm saying there's a jealousy in this situation, but I'm saying there could be some issues that you might have that you might not be able to articulate to where you get the changes you want in your business affairs when it's your family members. Because what happens is they're your friends, your sisters, your brothers. They see you at your worst point, and y'all had arguments up and down and gotten over it, as opposed to somebody who's in your employee and knows there's no love there. They know they fuck it up, they get fired. So I don't know how if this is gonna last at all, but Cynthia's trying to tell her sister that she don't need her to be giving people 2 days off or closing out the cellar 2 days off. She's saying, well, people need 2 days off, it's like a labor law. She goes, no, I need to be making money. Figure out how to make me more money for this, wine cellar type situation. She's thinking in a business mindset, not really caring about her own employees. Whereas the sister who's there is caring about the employees and wanting to be a good manager. And it's kind of conflicting views. In addition to that, they talk about her daughter. We find out that Cynthia's daughter is not in college no more. And y'all remember last season, it was a freaking nightmare just to get that girl to get out the damn car and go to school. She was in tears. It was crazy. Instead, she wants to pursue her career elsewhere. And I guess it's the life of living with a celebrity, because everything becomes an option. For me, I don't ever remember it being an option for me. Unless you were like the 50 Shades of Grey type situation where he just became a billionaire. Taught himself at 21, just had all his money. Unless it's like that, your ass is going to college, because in this economy, you do not survive and make a substantial amount of money unless you have a minimum of a master's degree. 10 years ago, it was an associate's degree. Then it became a bachelor's degree. Now you have to at least have a master's in order to be able to make at least $100K unless you have your own business going on. So for me and my kids, it will not be an option. Let my child come to me and tell me they're not going to college. It will be blasphemy, and you better hope to God you end up staying alive and saying that's bullshit to me. You're going to college whether you like it or not. So that's my take. Now we get to Portia and Dennis. Dennis the cheater. Beastmaster Dennis. This bald-headed man that she keeps chasing after. I think she's more prettier than. Portia need to get her ass out the sunken place and stop seeing dollar signs with this man. Because I feel like that's all she sees. That's why she's tolerating the behavior she's tolerating, even despite the fact that she has a daughter with him, okay? Because I said it and I said it before. Dennis does not have a single remorse about the decision he chose to make when he cheated on her ass. Because here he is gaslighting her, getting mad at her, saying that, well, we need to get a prenup because when we got into a fight, you kicked me out. What the fuck you think is going to happen to you if you tell me that you were in somebody else's puss and not mine, when we're supposed to be getting engaged and we're engaged getting married? You think you're going to sleep in the same bed with me? Hell, you think you're going to be in the same house? He said that she kept repeating to her, well, it's my house, it's my house, it's my house. Yes, it's her house because you guys haven't technically got married, but your ass would still be in her house had you not have betrayed her and embarrassed her. You have a responsibility to take. You can't sit up here and get pissed off at how hard she reacted towards you, being when you cheated on her. It's not like y'all got into a petty fight and she said, get out, this is my house. It's not like you came home from work late and she got into a fight with you and said, hey, get your stuff out. You cheated on her, lied to her about it when she was pregnant and had your child, going through postpartum, didn't give a damn about her family, her feelings, or what she was going through. And it wasn't like you weren't getting sex from her. You had the audacity to tell her this because her sex wasn't good. Then you went out and found some cheap, easy-going person that just let you sit on it. And then You left, and then the tabloids got wind of it. She on here trying to defend her relationship. The season when it first started, Portia was broken down. We didn't even know where her mental state was. And when you had gone to the therapist, you started crying like you the motherfucking victim. Now that it's coming back up again because Portia need to keep reminding this man that this is what you did to me. And as of now, for you to be making amends for what you did, your ass should be, when I come home, you should be at home, draws up, penis up, tongue out, ready for me to do whatever the hell I want to do with you, and keep saying sorry until the trust is built back up. Why the hell, on top of him not coming home, he has his stuff elsewhere, and it's almost like he's trying to punish her for kicking him out. What is wrong with you? Portia, you quit chasing that man. He's not cute to me. He's not attractive to me. Portia is more beautiful, and I feel like she deserves better, and that's where I stand, child or not. Then, on top of that, he has nerve to now argue with her about having a wedding. Oh, we should just go to court and get a piece of paper and call it a day. We're not paying for a wedding. You need to shut the fuck up. You don't have a choice here. You need to just give her everything she wants and show up and be happy about it. It's like Dennis has this mindset, like a lot of men who watch all these rap music and watch all these shows and think that, oh, everybody cheats. Like Peter said, find me a man who doesn't cheat and I find you a liar. Stop normalizing that shit in your head, because we got this man with a nice, beautiful black woman, and he's basically acting like she don't have a right to be pissed off or treat him the way she treated him or react this way after you done broke her heart and you done basically disrespected her trust and her love for you. You were reckless with her heart. I don't like that a lot of black men have this opinion in their mind that it is okay to cheat on somebody and it's all right, she's going to be mad at you and we just need to move on because it's the past. My ass. Anyway, that's their relationship. We get to Nene and we get to Greg. Greg and Nene, because Nene said that her relationship with Greg seems to be the best because she's been married the longest out of everybody in this group, and I agree. Why do I agree with that? Because even though, when you marry somebody, it's for better or worse, right? Sickness and health, for richer or poor. I felt like Nene was extremely selfish when Greg was going through his cancer scare. She was only thinking about herself in a sense of how she was treating that man. She should have waited until his cancer situation went off, because she chose to stay there, and then got him back for the shit that she said that he was doing. I think she said at some point that he may have cheated on her and had a kid on her or something like that, and then got her back. But she chose to stay and support him. So why not, try to control some of that, make sure he's gonna live long enough for you to not get at him, get at his ass and punish him after the fact that we know he's gonna live to get this punishment. But I felt like her reaction and how she was behaving, it just wasn't to my taste, and I was just not okay. I was disgusted with it. I really was. Now that, we got, his cancer is not detectable, he's able to live his life, he's trying all these holistic things. She got dressed, wore this lingerie, they're celebrating their anniversary, and I love how she set it up. She said she had brought up, open marriage to Greg. Greg said, hell no, I'm not doing that bullshit. We are not keeping up with the Joneses. We're not white folks. We're not taking this BS type relationship status or Hollywood. I shouldn't say white folks. This Hollywood situation where it's like, let's have an open marriage. Let's do this, this, and this. You're inviting all these people into your marriage. You just lose the actual sanctity of the situation. It becomes messy. Greg wasn't having that bullshit. He wants to keep his marriage. And it seems like them having this moment of them having a anniversary, roses everywhere. She set it up really nicely. I didn't like that she brought up the fact that he was staying in a different room because he had to protect her from the radiation. I didn't like that was something that came up in this beautiful moment, but I did like how they ended it, and I liked how Greg looked happy with the situation, and that their marriage seems like they're going to try to make it work, and I hope that they do. Then we got Cynthia going to see Kenya more, because Kenya is now using this storyline of her getting a divorce, potential divorce from Mark, basically to keep her through the rest of the season until the show is over. Because every time is a scene about her, she's either seeing a therapist or she's seeing somebody to help her with the potential trust that she's going to use as a side prenup. She's going to see, or she's out here trying to chop off his shirt or actually deliver his shirt to him via mail, and Cynthia wants to cut it up, and she's talking about him or her relationship. Now, y'all Kenya fans, y'all might have a problem with me, because I'm listening to Kenya talk about Mark and how she married Mark even though Mark didn't want her to meet his family. I know last episode I didn't review, but we know that Mark's parents hadn't really talked to Kenya before they married, and Mark didn't want that. He gets upset when Kenya actually interacts with him, and Kenya's ass still chose to marry him when all these red flags are shining in her damn face. She chose to still marry him, okay? And that was pre-baby, okay? Now that she's post-baby, she's feeling like she's stuck and she got to tolerate the bullshit that this man comes with. I don't particularly think that Mark is a horrible person in my eyes, because I think isolated without Kenya has her own personality that gets on my damn nerves, and sometimes I like some of the things that she does. Mark has his personality get on my damn nerves, but them together I don't like. I think Mark's a piece of shit to her. But I also have to think about Kenya's personality and how she is and what I have seen. She had a fake boyfriend when she initially came on the show, and then when the boyfriend didn't want to play his role, she told everybody he was gay. She had another dude come on the show, and she tried to paint him like he was a really violent person, and he's this, and the third. He broke her window, even though she was okay with him disrespecting Kim Fields and the marriage that she's cultivated for a number of years. Then she had the whole flirtation thing she did with Apollo, and after that was done, she was still okay texting Apollo, knowing that Phaedra and her didn't get along, even though it was innocent texts, and Apollo was the one at fault because Apollo was the one who swore vows to Phaedra. She still knew that Phaedra didn't like her ass, and because she knew that, she still kept texting Apollo, and I guarantee you, Apollo at some point and her did flirt via text. It may have been innocent flirting, but it did happen because that's crossing boundaries. Now she's in a relationship with Mark and shit ain't working out. Here's the thing. She said that Mark, she can't even FaceTime when, if Mark's daughter, Brooklyn, was with the grandparents, because she doesn't communicate with them. He separated her from them. This is where I'm going to play the devil's advocate for a moment and just have y'all think about this perspective. I have personally experienced a situation where a woman told me that her husband didn't want her around his other child that he had prior to them getting married. And when I asked her, I said, why the hell would he want that? He married you. Why is it that you marry somebody, you're his wife, or would he not want you around his other child? What's the purpose of that? It makes no sense to me, because you're not his wife. Why wife somebody if you're not comfortable around them, being around your family? That doesn't make any sense to me. And when I asked her, I said, why do you think that is? She said, I don't know. Then she told me his mama didn't like her. And I said, why do you think that is? She said, I don't know. At first I thought, because she had all these negative things to tell me about him and what he did to her, and I thought maybe he was going back home and telling his mama all this horrible stuff about her, so the mama felt bad about it. But later on, with her nephews and her nieces, she got into an argument with her brother. And in retaliation to that argument she had with her brother, she started treating his children like shit. She was bullying them. When she made food for her kids, she won't make it for him, even though he would do the same for her. She went and pulled the TV cords off the TV and told his kids that they couldn't watch TV when they're at their grandmama's house because she paid for the TV. And so for months, his kids, her nephew and her nieces would come to the house. Sometimes they were crying. Sometimes they were uncomfortable. It was just like silence. And she was doing it to his kids to get back at him. And these kids are 12, 10, 9, 8, and she over 30 years old, taking her anger for a grown-ass person for these kids. When I saw that, I put 2 and 2 together. Now I know why this man didn't want you around his other child that he had by the other lady. Because in his mind, he's been with you long enough to watch you and watch your behavior. And he is convinced that you will not have the ability to treat this kid with the same caliber and respect and love that you treat your own biological kids. So to protect that child, he refused to have you around her. That, or he could possibly still be sleeping with a girl too. But there's ways around it where he could just pick up the daughter and bring her to the house without y'all interacting. The fact that is, he probably didn't trust her around that baby, and he knew it in his soul, so he just said, I don't want you around her. So when Kenya is telling me, oh, Mark don't want me to be around his parents and stuff like that, I honestly feel like Mark is embarrassed by her. I feel like there's something about Kenya that he's not comfortable with. Maybe because she's been on TV. He may have seen some of the stuff that she did previous seasons. I was like, I don't want this type of person. Because Kenya has done some crazy shit. She came with that booty video, that fake pat she had on her ass, the fake video she did to get back at Phaedra. She threatened to put her hands on Phaedra while Phaedra was damn near ready to pop out this baby. She got into several arguments with Peter, Nene. She went after Portia when Portia was going through a really bad divorce with Cordell, to where Portia snatched her ass up on the reunion stage. There is a lot of things that Kenya has done, including bringing the Cookie Monster down to Tanya. Basically put that woman in her face to make her feel like this is what your man is doing behind her back. And we find out that Mark is the one that's actually cheating, right? So I don't know if he's embarrassed by her previous behavior. He don't want this type of person even introduced to his family. But then in the event of that thought process, why marry her? So that part was kind of confusing to me, honestly. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this dynamic. I want to hear what y'all think so I can kind of put pieces together and see maybe I can form a different opinion. But right now, this is what's going on in my head. Then we got Todd and Candy going to therapy because their marriage is basically going through it right now, because Candy doesn't understand the fact that she's married. Now, her daughter was right. Her oldest daughter, when she said, I keep forgetting all these names, but she told her, I don't think that y'all need to have any more kids. Not because Todd is not a good parent, because Candy is an obsolete parent. Like, she's not there most of the time because she's out here chasing all these damn businesses to maintain her millionaire status. We already know that Candy has more than enough money. She don't need any more. It's not like it's a necessity for her to keep working. She has more than enough of money, right? She's chasing these things because she's trying to chase all her dreams before she dies. But in the process of doing that, she has a newborn coming. And it's almost like Todd is at home playing housewife and house husband while his wife is gallivanting around doing whatever she wants to do for her career. And he's feeling like, I didn't get into this marriage to be in this marriage by myself. So here they are in the therapy session. I felt so bad when Todd said that their 4-year-old son, Ace, comes into his room crying because of the mama. And she's over here crying, but Candy, I don't see any changes in your behavior. What's the purpose of the tears if you're not even there? Todd is out here the one planning the baby shower for this baby coming, and you're out of the state chasing the movie. This shit don't make sense. This marriage, I feel like if Candy doesn't try harder and stop acting like she's in this by herself, it's not like Todd came into the marriage broke. It's not like he don't make money. He's not broke, even though your mama made him feel that way, number one. Number two, you already had money. Plus, Real Housewives pays you, what, $100,000, $150,000 per episode, and you've been on this for 12 seasons. You have a lot of money that you've, accumulated till now, plus the money you made while singing. Stop chasing all this shit and slow the fuck down and, keep your marriage going. It takes two to make it work. Then we got, what is the next one I'm gonna talk about here? After the whole when they discussed the whole meeting with the therapists and stuff like that, they showed what's going to happen next episode. And Portia is now being extremely nasty because I know that her relationship with Kenya wasn't going to last. Because Portia's been inserting herself into fights that has nothing to do with her because Kenya is involved in it. And she was picking sides in certain situations. Sometimes I felt like she made sense. Other times I felt like she was clearly picking a side. Because here she is, now that she's good with Nene, she's basically now saying all these negative things about what Kenya did to Nene. And Nene now having her friend back is feeling like she got this little posse here united front. And it seems like during Candy's baby shower that Todd worked all this, hard to plan. Meanwhile, he said in the therapy session that Candy's always quick to go to these people's celebrations and their little gatherings, but she's not really paying attention to them. But here they are coming to yours and fucking it up. Because it seems like Todd called security and wanted to escort Nene and Kenya out the party because of how crazy they'll make themselves look. So that was this episode, and the finale next week is going to be lit. I can't wait to the reunion. I'm hoping that this coronavirus situation doesn't get into the nitty gritty of the situation. I almost forgot to talk about Eva's ass. I just keep skipping her scenes because some of her scenes just don't make sense. I feel like she's using her baby daddy for Marlon, was that her name, to make herself more relevant. Either she's pregnant or it's the baby daddy issue, because she brought him up now saying that he wants to fight because she changed her baby girl's name. I would fight too. I've never met a man who is, even a crackhead still will still claim their child and say they love their child. They're just sick in the head. You change that little girl's name and put another man's name on her as if he's the one who seeded you to get her. And you keep calling him his donor on national television like he didn't sleep with your ass to make this baby. I don't think that her father was the best person. He may have been, I don't know what he did to her in the relationship. I've heard a lot of what's said on tabloids and stuff like that. But unless I was there, I try to stay out of it. But when it comes to that child, I don't think that some of the moves that Eva's making is right. And she's doing it so bluntly on TV. I feel like she's hurt, she's scorned, and she's doing everything she can to sour this man's image to the public. And we don't hear the second side of what happened. We don't hear him speak. We just hear her. Just like with Kenya, we don't hear Mark speak. We just hear her. We can't just make an assumption based on one person's experiences. Yes, he must have done some crazy shit, and I don't agree. I don't think he's a nice person, honestly, from what I have seen. But it will make sense if she keeps bringing him up. If he was at least there to speak on his behalf, why keep bringing him up? Why keep doing stuff to, like, it's almost like I feel like she's taunting him a little bit. I really do. Now that she's married, she's enjoying her happy life. It's almost like she's taunting him, like, look, I'm happy. You're da-da-da-da. But I don't think it's okay to change that little girl's last name. I didn't agree with it when it first happened, and I still don't agree with it now. Because like I said, my fiance has kids, and one of baby mamas tried to do the same thing, change his name to her name as if she's the one that slept with herself. He went to court. He went to the newspapers. He did everything he could get that boy's name changed back to his. Like, don't play with my son like that. Don't play with me and give him she tried to give him her dad's last name, as in her. So you want him to go by his grandfather. Did he make this baby with you? Knock it off, especially when he's actually trying to be a part of his life and you just want to be foul about it. So I make my statements based on the experiences that I've seen. And I know that even a drug addict, even a drunk, even an abusive parent, all these crazy people will still claim their children. They may not be the best representation of parenting, but they still want a piece of them to be, because they did make that child. That's just what I'm saying. But I think Ethan went too far with that. I did, and I know that Life commented on it, and a couple people commented on it when they saw that episode air. So now he wants to change the last name. As far as full custody, it's a joke. Because if what I heard was true, you're reaching. Maybe visitation for you to start off, because you've been gone this whole time. Maybe visitation might be the best. But full custody, I'm not too sure if that's what should work in this dynamic. Anyway, y'all like, subscribe, and notification bell. Let me know what you think. I'm so sorry for having been here for a while. It was my weekend. I'm going to try to see if I can go back and post some of the reviews of some of the shows I've missed for y'all to watch. If y'all interested in watching it, watch it. You know, I know it's a little late, but I'm trying to do my best to keep up. We're still working, telecommuting. You guys have a good day.